Right.
Yeah.
So what agency management systems do you guys work with currently?
AMS 360 and Epic are the main ones. Easy Links, obviously, because there's a lot of rating going on and things like that. So those are the three.
Okay.
But, once you've learned one system, it's pretty easy to navigate most.
Mm-hmm.
And so what usually happens, we had this recently happen where we have an agency that is using a really old system and
Like Microsoft Excel?
yeah, pretty much.
Which might be better.
Yeah,
Better
pretty
than the old
much.
system?
Yeah, exactly. And so it's called Choice. And you literally it's really just a database and it has like coverages and things. But then they also were using SharePoint. So what we did was after she'd been through her training, we're like, okay, this is what they were just buying this agency. So, they weren't ready to navigate over to
Right.
Epic. And so this is kind of like a just in the time period. And so we basically built a process for them on how the renewal process should go. We had them check it and then we implemented it with our gal and our lady over there. And she basically learned the process pretty quickly. I mean, it wasn't that hard. And so she's doing all their renewals for them on the back end.
Got it. So you can effectively work with any of them.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, EasyLinks, Applied, and Vertafore are the big three.
Yes.
And actually, it's just on a side note, we're onboarding people all the time for Dark Horse, and you'd be amazed, some of these agents, what some of them are working off of from a technology standpoint.
Or
Right.
not, yes.
Yeah.
What's one that you saw recently?
Excel, we've already talked about.
Yeah, Excel. I was like,
That's
you're running
fun.
your agency off of Excel.
And large agencies, I don't even know how it's possible.
I know.
It's
I mean, Excel is a pretty
mind-
interesting tool.
blowing.
But to run an agency off of it is interesting. So
Well, how are they issuing certificates? I'm assuming they're just using a PDF.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's
very,
just-
very archaic way of doing things.
Yeah.
But
it works.
it's working. I mean,
at least got them to that point. Now
Yes.
they're coming to us to streamline everything.
right. Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's what we help. And staffing is always, always a huge concern anywhere.
Yeah.
Finding good people that will stay and
Mm-hmm.
and work with your culture and your systems and technology. So it sounds like you at Insurassist work very closely with the owners of the agency
Yes.
to understand their workflows, what they're looking for,
Exactly.
and then you're partnering them with the right VA
Exactly.
that will work with them, which
Well,
is so cool.
And that was like the biggest thing with Patra, right? And Resource Pro was like, it's like, okay, you have to do their process. And sometimes that's just not going to work. You have 300 employees in your agency, and then all of a sudden you have to train all of them to do a completely different process.
Right.
That sounds
And every agency operates different, does things differently.
Mhm.
There's just isn't
Mhm.
any two that are alike. I mean, there's things that are similar as it relates to workflows and whatnot, but they really do all operate pretty differently. So to try to fit them all in a, like, you fit in our box versus us fit in your box is always a
Right.
bit of a challenge.
yes, exactly.
Yeah,
So-
and I think too a lot of VAs are underutilized because we just can't, they check the boxes, but to have them understand new processes is very difficult. So
Yes.
I remember you telling me you were up at 2 a.m. issuing your own COIs when
Right.
you had VAs prior to you
Yes.
starting your own company.
Yes, because the
And-
service was just not there.
Yeah.
They just
So
was starting to fall off. I'm like, oh, we can't do it this way.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
not sustainable.
No.
So what you all are doing is awesome.
Well, and the funny part is that, like, if the virtual assistant, if they're feeling like they're not getting enough work, like, they're the first to raise their hand and say, I've been sitting here for a day and I have not gotten a request.
Right.
Something's wrong here. Because they want to keep their job.
Right.
And they've just been through a ton of training, and so they want to make sure that they hold on to the job. That they're
I'd imagine
doing.
it's probably a pretty good job in the Philippines
Very.
to get something like that.
Yes. Mhm.
Yeah.
To be able to work from home, most people in the Philippines have to travel over an hour and a half one way to get to a call center to work.
Wow.
Wow.
So for them to be able to work from home is huge.
Yeah, that's a huge benefit.
But